So page number 10. The opposition is asking for a special session of the parliament to discuss on the issue Pahalgam attack. Who summons the special session and what is special session? Special session of parliament. Do we have this provision to convene a special session of parliament? Yes, no? Do we have this provision? Yes, no? Online students, do we have this provision called special session of the parliament? Yes, no? If yes, like who summons the session? Parliament చెప్పలేదా సార్? Okay. President will summon the special session because President is the one who summons all the sessions of the parliament, not the speaker. Okay. And who chairs this session? Of course, for any special purpose, we will be doing the special sessions. Okay, that is clear. Who chairs this session? Speaker. For both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha?
If it is a joint sitting, then speaker. If it is separate sitting, then for Rajya Sabha,
So for Lok Sabha, it is speaker. Rajya Sabha, chairman. Chairman will chair the session. Clear kada? Do we have any timeline for this? Like it should be only 2-hour session, or do we have this 0-hour wala provision in this? There is no provisions in it, and there is no time limit as well. Okay, any special session can be of any number of hours. There is no 0 hour, there is no question hour, nothing like that. Okay, clear kada? Malli దీని మీద questions ఏం రావద్దు ఇంకా. Yes, no?
yes,
Okay. President will summon the session, of course on the advice of the cabinet government. Okay. So because like all the opposition parties like unconditionally supported the government for this Operation Sindoor, so they are asking for a special session to discuss the security issues with respect to India and Pakistan. Clear kada? Great. Page number 11. Government mulling 15-year stay requirement for Ladakh domicile tag. Domicile ante citizenship చదువుకున్నారా? అవ్వలేదా? అంటే ఏం లేదు, like who are like locals. So of course you know ki in 2019 after this ఏం జరిగింది? Article 370 ని రిమూవ్ చేసిన తర్వాత like we have abrogated Article 370 and then we have separated Jammu and Kashmir into 2 union territories. What are those union territories? Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir. So now we have given this Ladakh without assembly, Jammu and Kashmir with assembly. Clear kada? Still we are expecting to give statehood to Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Of course, Ladakh is also asking for the statehood. Ladakh is dominated by majorly by Leh and Kargil. Kargil is in Ladakh. Okay. Ladakh is a Muslim majority area. Sorry. Leh is a Buddhist majority area. Kargil, Muslim majority area. Not now, like before the abrogation of Article 370 also, they are like fighting for their reservation in the government, jobs, etc., etc. Still that issue came up with respect to the reservation part, with respect to Ladakh. Okay. So the domicile will start from 2019 plus 15 years. That is up to 2034. So if you are an outsider at the time of the abrogation of Article 370 in 2019, You have to stay in Ladakh for 15 years to get this domicile tag, so that you can able to get the reservations in the Ladakh area. Clear? Domicile tag understood? So it is 15 years. There is always a fight between these two regions. There is one Ladakh MP who spoke in the parliament after the abrogation of Article 370. I didn't remember his name, but his speech is excellent. He spoke about like 40 to 45 minutes. You will understand what exactly Ladakh is. If possible, just go and check. Like these speeches in the of course, parliament sessions are boring, but these sort of some people will speak some good things in the parliament. So we need to listen to those sessions so that you can understand the ground level, because he is an MP from Ladakh, that too from Leh area. So you will understand the actual ground level report of the Ladakh. So just go and like listen to that. Okay. Next. And they are, of course, they are fighting for statehood, and they are asking to include this Ladakh in the 6th schedule of the constitution. What is the 6th schedule? 6th schedule of the constitution. Okay. Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, AMTM. Tribals kada. 5th schedule is all the states except AMTM. 6th schedule is only about Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. So now they are, like the Ladakhi people are asking them to include in the 6th schedule of the constitution. Clear? Yes, no? Great. SC Collegium recommends transfer of 21 High Court judges. High Court judges from one state to another state. Just a shuffle. This is the largest shuffle that the Supreme Court is doing. Who will transfer these High Court judges to some other state? Collegium system. They will recommend the names. Okay. Then only the government will give the orders. Okay. Great. Next comes 12th page. Center invites suggestions on draft registration bill. What is that? Registrations, like property registrations, land registrations. So we have this outdated act, draft registration bill, 117-year-old registration act of 1908, outdated law. So we need to revise it, modernize it with a new draft registration bill 2025. This is just a bill. Okay. They put it outside just to get the recommendations from the people outside. Like maybe we can also suggest some measures to it. So this is for the support online registration, including electronic presentation and admission of documents, issuance of electronic registration certificates, and digital maintenance of records. So we don't have this digital maintenance of records. If you go to mandal offices, they'll come up with these many bundle of books to check your accounts, to check your details. Now we need to digitalize it. So for that, the ministry came up with this, and it allows for both Aadhaar based authentication with alternates for those without Aadhaar. Even if you don't have Aadhaar also, you can get registered in the, you can get your property registered by this act. Okay. Next. So we spoke about this ANI versus YouTubers, right? Yesterday, ANI news agency versus YouTubers. The YouTubers are taking this copyrighted content from ANI. ANI sued them to buy license, pay license fee for an year, like some 48 lakh or something. Now PTI, press information, telsa? Telida. PTI ante Press Trust of India. This is a government thing. So they proposed giving this content, copyrighted content for the YouTubers with a less registration fee. So there are some Padma awards also announced. Just go through that. So there is one article in page number 14. We have discussed this China issue with respect to the neighborhood countries of India by giving them the loans with less interest. Yes or no? China is giving lot of loans to the countries like developing countries, underdeveloped countries with less interest because of this Belt and Road Initiative is there, no? Under this Belt and Road Initiatives, it is like majorly the infrastructure projects like ports, roads, railway connects, and other all the infrastructure projects just to connect the whole world according to the BRI plan. CPEC, China Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is going through RPOK. Okay, so CP is also a part of BRI. So they are giving lot of loans to the developing countries. Now the debt repayment has come. Someone has to repay, no? The country has to repay. If you see this article, tidal wave of debt as repayments to China hit record high in 2025. They gave lot of loans. Now it's time to repay. It is on record high. On an average, 75 countries were set to make record high debt repayments to China in 2025 of a combined $22 billion. How many? 22. It's very good. Like when we took the amount, no, for some purpose we will take the debts. But when the time of repayment comes, no, we feel bad. Now it's time, like 75 countries has to pay $22 billion of loan repayment to China. This is a record high. They have to pay. Otherwise, what happens? For example, Hambantota port is there. 99-year wala lease. If you didn't repay the loan, no, they'll take that port. They'll own the port. So they'll do activities anti-national with respect to Sri Lanka and with respect to India as well. That is their plan. It's a long-term plan. Just to have a control all over the world. Cool. Next, the editorials. The second one, India-Germany relations. 25 years of silver jubilee of India-Germany relations. Like, IR lo ainda India-Germany relations? అవ్వలేదు అని చెప్పొద్దండి. యూపీఎస్సీలో ఏది ఎప్పుడు అడిగే తెలియదు. సో వీ నీడ్, సరే ఎనీవేస్, లైక్ విల్ డిస్కస్ దిస్. And above that, India's new urban worry rising overnutrition. We spoke about lot of malnutrition, undernutrition problems like Poshan Abhiyan. We came up with midday meal scheme, in National Nutrition Scheme or something, NNM, National Nutrition Mission or something. We came up with so many schemes just to get that nutrition to the villagers, maybe women, children, etc., etc. Now we are facing with this overnutrition problem. What is this overnutrition problem? Let's see. I came up with some points, my notes. So I expecting you to also have these sort of notes. Health and disease trends. Metabolic dysfunction associated fatty liver diseases, MAFLD. MAFLD crisis among IT employees. So we spoke about like most of the people are staying in urban areas now, and 70% of the people live in urban areas by 2050. We already spoke about this. Lot of IT employees are facing this problem. 84% facing this fatty liver wala problem, and 71% are obesity issues. Sitting, doing only work, no exercise, no good food habits, no walking, nothing. Working 12 hours, 13 hours per day. Junk foods. Because of this obesity and fatty liver wala problems will come. So just in Hyderabad, I am just talking about a study in Hyderabad, 84% are having this fatty liver wala problem and 71% are with obese, indicating rising NCDs, non-communicable diseases among India's economically productive. They are the productive people. They are, right, economically productive people, no? IT employees. So they are having these sort of NCD related problems. What are NCDs? NCDs are like not transmitted from one person to other. They are either genetically or lifestyle, genetics, lifestyle or environmental factors. They are not transmitted from one person to another person. These are like major global health concerns. Like we have a goal in SDG as well, Sustainable Development Goals. These are the goals set up by an international level so that all the countries And we have discussed about this localized SDGs. Have you heard about it? Yes, no. So there will be, sir, there are some SDGs, okay, Sustainable Development Goals. Every country will be having a target to reach that particular number. Now we are having this localization of SDGs. Means every panchayat will be having a target. I think I have discussed this with the group 1 students. Localization of SDGs. There are some 12 to 13 pointers are there. They are like localized versions of the Sustainable Development Goals. If possible, like I will discuss tomorrow maybe. Okay? Because this is a major concern on the families, individuals and the healthcare systems. You may be having money, but the healthcare system has to be there to support you, right? According to World Health Organization 2019, NCDs caused 74% of the global deaths versus 61% in the 2000. Global deaths NCD వల్ల ఎంత జరిగింది 2000లో 61% ఉంటే 74% వెళ్ళింది in just 7 to 8 years. High burden in low and middle income countries including India and the maybe some African countries. Well, like still underdeveloped and developing countries, right? India's NCD risk missing SDG 2030 goals reduce premature mortality from NCDs. So there is a goal by 2030 we need to achieve. So we are missing the target because of raising non-communicable diseases among the majorly the youth, adult population. So of course we spoke about it. We have this undernutrition problem and the overnutrition also coming in. According to National Family Health Survey 5, obesity rises from 7% to 32%. How much? 7% to 32%, especially between 15 to 49 years of age. Economically product age, right? Youth, adults, they are having this obesity wala issues and it rose from 7% to 32%. Wealth wise చూసుకుంటే more wealth, more obesity. Overweight obesity rises from 10%, lowest quantile to 37%, highest. More wealth is coming up with more obesity issues, overweight issues. Projected obesity చూసుకుంటే by 2050, 450 million overweighted Indians will be having. How many? By 2050, 450 million obese or overweight Indians, and it is actually 180 in 2021. Just like 30 years, number increased by thrice. Childhood obesity to rise by 120% in 3 decades, which is actually 244% now, and more 121% is going to come. How much it will become? Child obesity is more. ఎందుకంటే పిల్లలందరూ చాక్లెట్లు చిప్స్ తప్ప ఏం తినట్లేదు. కరెక్టే కదా, ఏడ్చితే చాక్లెట్లు ఇచ్చేస్తాం మనం. తింటే ఏమవుతుంది అంటాం, తింటే ఏమవుతుంది, ఇక్కడ నంబర్ పెరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది. అర్బనైజేషనల్ లైఫ్ ఇంపాక్ట్, క్రానిక్ స్ట్రెస్, పూర్ స్లీప్, సెడెంటరీ లైఫ్ స్టైల్స్ అండ్ అన్హెల్తీ స్నాక్స్ ఎట్ వర్క్. తింటారుగా బయటకు పోయి, అవేగా మీరే, నేను కూడా అంతేలే. Night life and cloud kitchens increasing availability of nutrient poor foods. Of course we are getting discounts, we are ordering so many things online, but like how much quantity important kada manaki quality kante. But anyways, if you see rural urban divide, see the point is this, we have discussed this about the adults, children, women, year by year on percentages thing. Now we are looking at urban and rural, that too men and women. This is how we need to think. The point is this, you don't need to remember the numbers. For example, NCD is very very important with respect to prelims and mains. Non-communicable diseases, this is very very important. These are the pointers that you need to mention in that answer. That is why నేను చేసుకొని వచ్చిన, లేకపోతే ఇలానే చెప్తుండే. ఓకే, సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు మేక్ ఎ నోట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్. యాక్చువల్లీ మీరు ఇట్లా రాసుకుంటేనే మీకు హెల్ప్ అవుతుంది. అర్బన్ మెన్లో 46% ఉంది, అర్బన్ ఉమెన్లో 43. ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళు ఇంట్లో పనులు చేస్తారు కాబట్టి. సింపుల్ థింగే, అదేం పెద్ద థింగ్ అని అనుకోం మనం. కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే ఆ 3% ఎందుకు తగ్గింది అని అంటే వాళ్ళు ఇంట్లో పని చేస్తారు కాబట్టి. రూరల్ మెన్లో 35, విమెన్ 31. ఎందుకనంటే అగ్రికల్చర్ యాక్టివిటీస్ ఇప్పుడు లేవు, అన్ని మిషనరీ వచ్చేసింది, వాళ్ళకు కూడా బద్ధకం వచ్చేసింది. అఫ్ కోర్స్ దేర్ ఆర్ సమ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తమిళనాడు's MTM మక్కలై తేడి మరుతువం, వర్క్ ప్లేస్ బేస్డ్ NCD స్క్రీనింగ్, 3.79 lakh employees in 2024. They are screening NCDs by going to the workplace, doing these health checkups. Initiatives like 8-kilometer walk, eat right challenge for behavioral change. రోజు వాక్ చేయాలని ఎవరు చెప్పాల్సిన పనిలే, కాకపోతే ఈ 10 km 20 km అంటే పోతాము, ఇది పెట్టుకుంటాము, ఫోటో దిగుతాము, వస్తాము, అని రోజు చేయం. వాట్ ఈస్ ఈట్ రైట్ ఛాలెంజ్? ఈట్ రైట్ ఇండియా బై ఫుడ్ సేఫ్టీ అండ్ స్టాండర్డ్స్ అథారిటీ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా. చూస్తారా ఇది? తినే చిప్స్ ప్యాకెట్ వెనకాల ఉంటుంది, FSSAI, ఫుడ్ సేఫ్టీ అండ్ స్టాండర్డ్స్ అథారిటీ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా. ఈట్ రైట్ ఛాలెంజ్ ప్రమోట్ సేఫ్, హెల్తీ అండ్ సస్టైనబుల్ ఫుడ్. We come across these words only in so many areas. Like for example, international తీసుకుంటే డిఫెన్స్, పీపుల్ టు పీపుల్ కోఆపరేషన్, ఎకనామీ, ట్రేడ్, ఇవే మాట్లాడుకుంటాం. అవే అన్ని కంట్రీస్కి వర్కౌట్ అవుతాయి. ఆ పాయింట్స్ సేమ్ పాయింట్స్ మారవు. కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే అవి మనం ఎక్కడ మెన్షన్ చేస్తున్నాం, ఎలా రాస్తున్నాం అనేది ఇంపార్టెంట్. సేఫ్, హెల్తీ అండ్ సస్టైనబుల్ ఫుడ్ క్యాంపెయిన్స్ లైక్ आज से थोड़ा कम करो यार फूड, reduce fat, sugar and salt intake. Partnership with Indian Council of Medical Research and the National Institute of Nutrition. Indian Council of Medical, ICMR, and National Institute of Nutrition for HFSS, high fat, salt, sugar for food labeling. Proposal for health star rating on packaged foods. హెల్త్ స్టార్ రేటింగ్ ప్యాకేజ్ ఫుడ్స్ అన్నిటి మీద ఈ ర్యాంకింగ్ ఇస్తే ఎలా ఉంటుంది అని డిస్కషన్ జరుగుతుంది. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే అఫ్కోర్స్ మార్కెట్ అంతా కొలాప్స్ అవుతుంది, అంతే కదా. అన్నిటి మీద ఇది పెడితే మార్కెట్ కొలాప్స్ అవుతుంది కదా. అందుకని ఇంకా డిస్కషన్ జరుగుతుంది, కానీ ఎట్లా పెట్టాలి అనేది ఇన్ ఫ్యూచర్లో రావచ్చు. బట్ వీ నీడ్ టు చెక్. దాని తర్వాత అన్ని పర్సెంటేజ్లు మెన్షన్ చేస్తారు, ఏ ఫుడ్ మీద అయినా కూడా, ఏ ప్యాకేజ్ ఫుడ్ అయినా కూడా. కాకపోతే మనం చూడం అంతే. Judicial support. Supreme Court asked FSSAI expert committee for scientific input on food labeling. If you see, these are like Tamil Nadu practice. Like we have Saudi Arabia's model, Vision 2030. 50% tax on sugar drinks, 100% on energy drinks. They are taxing and discouraging people to take these things. They have to pay more. Mandatory calorie labeling on restaurants, sodium limits in processed foods, trans fats eliminated, integrated national strategy for NCD prevention. Recommendations ఏముంటాయి? We need tax on high sugar and high salt foods, go beyond awareness, regulate what is manufactured, marketed and sold, strengthen intersectoral policy enforcement and food safety standards. These are the recommendations given by that particular ఆర్టికల్. ఇప్పుడు ఒకవేళ మీరు ఆర్టికల్ చదివితే ఇట్లా పాయింట్స్ నోట్ డౌన్ చేసుకోగలరా? ఎస్, నో? చేసుకోవాలి, లేకపోతే ఒక 6 నెలల తర్వాత ఏం జరిగిందో ఎవరికి తెలియదు, మళ్ళీ గూగుల్లో వెతుకుతాం. నెక్స్ట్ వీ హ్యావ్ దిస్ జర్మనీ పార్ట్నర్షిప్. ఏ కంట్రీ అయినా సరే, ఏ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ రిలేషన్ అయినా సరే, ఇట్ ఫోకసెస్ మోర్ ఆన్ mutual trust